All right, let's dive into something really cool and really, really dark today. What we've got here is a pitch for a graphic novel series called Amor Fati, the Baal cycle. And what makes this so incredible is how it smashes together ancient mythology with some seriously heavy philosophy from Friedrich Nietzsche. The result? A universe where good and evil are just gone. And what's left is something a whole lot scarier. So the entire universe is built on this one core idea, amor fati. It literally means love of one's fate. And it's not just about, putting up with the bad stuff. It's a cosmic rule that says you have to embrace everything, the joy, the pain, the triumph, the absolute worst suffering, and not just accept it, but love it as necessary. In this world, that's not just a nice thought. It's the fundamental law of reality. So what does a universe like that actually look like? Well, it means our whole concept of morality is completely out the window. Every single thing that happens, from the most selfless act of heroism to the most vile betrayal, gets a cosmic thumbs up as simply necessary. And you can bet there's a terrifyingly neutral entity out there making sure this one single rule is always enforced. And here it is. Meet the spirit of negation, the amoral high father of this whole setup. Now, this being isn't a judge. It's more like a cosmic rubber stamp. It just watches humanity struggle and basically says, yep, that was supposed to happen, to every single choice, no matter how dark. It doesn't cause the pain, it just declares it essential, which sets a pretty bleak stage for our main players. Okay, so if you've got this cosmic game where the referee says every single move is legal, the big question is, who are the actual players? Who are the ones down on the field pushing humanity around and causing all this necessary chaos? Well, it all boils down to a trio of ancient, powerful forces. The whole story is driven by what the pitch calls the Unholy Trinity. First, you've got Baal, the tempter, who offers power you can see and touch. Then you have Lucifer, the rebel, who offers forbidden knowledge. And finally, you have the Faustian bargain, which isn't a person, but the actual mechanism that ensures we humans will always, always fail. Let's start with the main antagonist, Baal, because he's got this fascinating double history. On one hand, you have the historical Baal, a hugely important Canaanite god of storms and fertility. He was the guy you prayed to for rain to make your crops grow. But on the other hand, you have the biblical version of Baal, the ultimate false god, the very symbol of choosing worldly things over faith. And wow, just look at how he's envisioned here. This is not some abstract evil. He is a visceral, imposing physical presence. He's called the Lord of Tangible Temptation for a reason. His whole deal is offering immediate solutions. You need power, you need wealth, Baal's got you covered, right here, right now. Why bother with faith in something you can't see when you can have real power today? And all the details in his design, they're pulled straight from the ancient myths. That lightning bolt isn't just for show. It's his command over nature itself, the power to bring a devastating storm or life-saving rain. And the bull's horns? That's all about raw strength, fertility, raw power. Every single piece of his design screams one thing: tangible, earthly dominance. I love this because you can really see the creative leap they're taking. You go from the ancient, more beast-like depictions from history to this fully realized, armored, intelligent Lord of Darkness for the graphic novel. They've essentially leveled up a regional weather god into a timeless, cosmic-level threat. It's a brilliant transformation. But here's the thing. As powerful as Baal is, he's not the whole story. He's just one point of a very dark and dangerous triangle. The war for humanity's soul is being fought on multiple fronts, and the other two members of this trinity offer temptations that are way more subtle and maybe even more powerful. So, just to put a pin in it, Baal's game is simple and brutally effective. It's the appeal of the material world, the promise of getting what you want right now. Why pray for salvation tomorrow when you can have a kingdom today? It's a powerful argument, you have to admit. Now, on the complete opposite end of the spectrum, you've got Lucifer. He's not offering you stuff, he's offering you knowledge. He represents the rebellion of the intellect, the pursuit of forbidden secrets, and total freedom from any system. He calls it joyful wisdom, this idea that you can find your own truth by questioning everything. It's not about what you can own, it's about what you can know. And finally, you've got the engine that makes this whole dark machine run, the Faustian bargain. This isn't a person, it's a principle. It's that flaw in human nature, that deep-down willingness to trade our future for something amazing right now. And whether it's for Baal's power or Lucifer's knowledge, we humans just can't seem to resist signing on the dotted line, which guarantees this tragic cycle never, ever stops. So you put all those pieces together, the tempter, the rebel, and our own willingness to make the bargain, and you lock humanity into this inescapable, unending loop. It's a tragic, repeating cycle of failure and very brief moments of redemption that pretty much defines what it means to be human in this universe. And here's what that cycle actually looks like, step by step. First, temptation. Mortals are lured by an easy fix. Next, they relapse. They make the deal. Of course, this leads to distress, total disaster, and suffering. Then, when things are at their absolute worst, a hero or a prophet rises up to challenge the darkness. And for a little while, it works. But then, the most important step, relapse again. The lesson is forgotten, and the cycle starts all over. And that's the real tragedy at the heart of this story. Humanity is just doomed to forget its most critical lessons. In the Bible, the showdown on Mount Carmel was supposed to prove once and for all that Baal was powerless. You'd think that would stick, right? But in this universe, that lesson has to be learned again and again and again, because the promise of an easy fix is always just too tempting to resist for long. Which leaves us with the final haunting question this whole concept is built around. If the cosmos itself says all of our failures are necessary, and if we're trapped in this endless cycle driven by these ancient powers, then is anyone really making their own choices? Do we actually have free will? Or is everyone just a puppet playing their part in a grand, twisted game that was rigged from the very beginning?